And the interlayer we're building, we give it a name beacon layer, is actually acting like a marketplace for sequencers. So when you initiate a transaction to the rollup, the beacon layer will automatically help you assign this transaction to the users who are operating the sequencers. Of course, how do you qualify as a user to run sequencers for the rollups you like? You need to stake Ethereum and other restaking assets to qualify, and you might get slashed if you have any wrongdoing. That's why I said it's kind of like a post-chain network where there's value creation and capture in this network, and also the users are essentially acting like gatekeepers in this network. They stake assets, they get assigned to basically run transactions, order them and execute them, and then they get staking rewards. And after the rollup transaction is processed, they also get verified through our building function using WASM VM. So besides just processing the data, we also provide an extra layer of security by a verification using WASM. So throughout the process, there are actually different tier of security or finality you can get. When we process or order the data, the transactions through the sequencers, we would call them soft final. I don't know if you guys have ever made a transaction on Uniswap, on Arbitrum. For instance, when you swap ETH into Tether on Arbitrum, your order has not been sent to the mainnet or the underlying chain, which is Ethereum in your case. So you are only arriving at soft finality, which means your data has not been final approved by the whole network, and Ethereum does not recognize the legitimacy of your transaction. But normally, as a user or as a trader, we don't really care. As long as Arbitrum tells us our transaction is final, we see it as final. That's why we call this soft final. So what Interlayer or beacon chain provides in addition to that soft finality is a verification level finality that's through the building function we just mentioned in WASM that would allow you to get a higher level of security after you make that transaction on Uniswap. So instead of saying, oh, my MetaMask has confirmed my transaction. Now you can say, oh, the beacon layer has confirmed my transaction. And since the beacon layer is run by a decentralized group of users, and they run the sequencers and process my data, so I can roughly believe that my transactions are really final and secure. And then we have the hard finality, which is when the transactions are actually sent to the base layer in Ethereum in this case. And normally with optimistic rollup, you have 7-day waiting period. It's until the 7-day wait period is over, then you can call the transactions hard final. That's when the transaction is confirmed by everyone in the universe. So I do have a question for you guys, just in case you fall into a sleep. When you bridge an asset using Arbiter Finance or, I don't know, Kinesis or any other bridge, after you see MetaMask shows confirm that your bridging transaction is through, like what level of finality have you arrived? Wow, you guys are so smart. You're the first audience that got this question right. You should be really proud of yourself. Thank you. So what All-Layer is providing, the Interlayer is adding an extra layer of security to that soft finality. So you can say you have arrive at verification level security. That could mean DeFi protocols and other protocols can utilize this functionality to enable cross-rollup messaging and the transfers. And also the Beacon chain or the Interlayer would enable upgrades without hard forks, which is also an important functionality for builders. You don't want to always hard fork your chain whenever you have an upgrade. That's something a lot of existing rollup technology does not provide, and we proudly support forkless upgrade. So before I end this sharing, I would like to also show you guys what we also provide is rollup as a service. So as I mentioned, we provide Interlayer for rollups, but if you do not have an existing rollup and you want to build one for your app, then we also help you spin up rollups within 2 minutes using our standardized platform and SDKs. So these are all the components you can basically customize for your own chain. For instance, you can choose what sequencer network you want to use, what rollup stack you want to use. As everyone knows, OP Stack, Arbitrum Orbit, Polygon CDK, and Starkware. All these rollup stacks are pretty normal nowadays. So you can freely choose whichever rollup stack you want to use for your own rollup. And also you can choose to customize your DA layer, whether you want to use Celestia, EigenDA, or Avial. It's all free for you to choose. And we also have partnership with a lot of the bridging projects, so you can freely choose whichever bridge you want to use. And the underlying chain, besides Ethereum, you can also settle your transactions on, say, OPBNB or Polygon ZK EVM chain. It's all up to you. And of course, you can customize your gas on your rollup, whether you want to make your own token as a gas token, whether you want to make it gas-free, like a gasless experience in a game. Everything is customizable. So if you're building a game, a social network, or a DeFi protocol that actually require very high performance, high security, and full decentralization, you can come and talk to us. We can help you. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dorothy, for the lovely presentation. All right. Oh, wait, hold on, Dorothy. We'll see whether they have any questions or not. Lovely presentation. I learned a little bit more about soft finality and hard finality, but I think you're right. To the user experience, hard finality doesn't really matter. We just, if Arbitrum says it's done lah. Okay, can we open it to the audience? Does anybody have a question? Please raise your hand and then we'll pass you a microphone. Anybody has anything to ask? The way she's describing all, like you have solved all problems in the whole world of blockchain. Gasless also can, forkless also can, this one also can. Wow, amazing. Any questions? If not, okay, you got one over here. Can we pass a mic to him? Our volunteers will come and hand you a mic. Please introduce your name as well as your question to Dorothy.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Keith. Just a question. How can we test out layer?
There are a few ways. The first way is to go to our website. Actually, I think it's here, dashboard.art.technology, or you can just go to our website, outlayer.io, and then you can find the rollup launchpad where you can just play around with our platform. You can basically choose whatever tier you want to use. You can start with a free trial, and the chain will automatically terminate itself in 2 hours. So there's no waste of resources. You can spin up as many rollups as you want at the same time, and you can choose the gas model, etc. So if you are looking to test the rollup with more functionality or more customization, then you can reach out to our team for email, Twitter, TG, whatever, or you can speak to Wen Hao, who's next to you, our BD. Yeah, so yeah, I think that these are the 2 main ways you can test our product. Of course, we also have some other projects that are working with us. There are a few gaming projects that are launching using our rollup stack, especially for fully on-chain game. We have built a specific rollup framework called Turbo, which would allow gasless transactions, burner wallet, and like horizontal scaling, which means we can spin up 100 rollups at the same time, which serve as gaming server. So instead of squeezing everyone into one rollup, now gamers can choose whichever rollup they want to use to play the game, more similar to a weather with Blade Out and another project called Cellular. You can play these games through our platform. You can check out all the information on Galaxy. Thank you.
Excellent, very comprehensive answer. And I like that your website has a very nice dashboard that you can easily test out your rollups. Okay, anyone else want to ask a question? You got one here in the front. We'll get our volunteer. Okay, got two. One here in the front, then the lady at the back. Okay. Our volunteers will come and pass you a mic. Please introduce your name and your question. Thank you.
Hello, Dorothy. Thank you for your time and your talk. My name is Izo. I would like to ask you, what is the benefit for Interlayer to provide such good service? Basically, what is your business model?
Yeah, so the business model is actually in the Interlayer we just mentioned. So our vision is that in the foreseeable future, we'll have a lot of infrastructure in the industry will not be able to accommodate 1 million users, not even 100K users. So by owning the block space to itself and also customize the chain in the way they want, and also through the powerful WASM and other VM technology, we can support projects to basically service millions of users at the same time. Especially for gaming projects, I think it's inevitable that they would have to use this horizontal scaling solution to service millions of users at the same time. So to support this vision, all these rollups will need a decentralized network to run sequencers and validators, because the cost to run its own validator network is quite high, and also the gaming project or the social network project team are not expert to run decentralized network. They're running into security issues like running chain and other projects. So this network would help projects to basically forget about all the overhead and all the DevOps they need to spend energy and money in to solve all these problems. They can simply just use our solution. And it's a decentralized network, so we'll have a token. And users will be able to stake Ethereum and our own token to support this network. So to promote this decentralized network, of course, we need to work with as many projects as possible, and providing RAS service is another way to lure them into our ecosystem.
Thank you.
All right. Last question was at the back, lady in green. Thank you very much.
Hi, Dorothy. Thank you for the presentation. My name is Shannon, and I'm from CoinGecko. I just have a quick question on the aggregator step that you mentioned just now. So just wondering if the aggregator function, does it work like a ZK rollup? And if yes, would you say it's easier for project who is using ZK rollup to onboard to this beacon layer that you're offering?
Yeah, so this framework is actually execution model agnostic. So you have aggregator that's basically aggregating orders. It doesn't really matter what execution model you choose. So we do support optimistic rollup in our own test stack right now, but we kind of took a hybrid approach where you basically process all the data in an optimistic way. And then whenever there's a challenge, we use ZK prover to prove the transaction. So it reduces the cost and overhead tremendously. But overall, this interlayer network wouldn't be like a execution model specific. We can support both ZK and OP stacks.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Great questions and great answers. Let's give Dorothy a big, big round of applause. Thank you very much, Dorothy.
Thank you.